Hi guys, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are launching one of our clients' website. So this is the current website of our client and they wanted a rebuild and SEO services from us. And we built a website and approved and it's approved. So that's the website which we built for them. And they liked the layout of which we created more, and we are launching this website for our client. In this video, I'll walk you through how I will update the DNS settings on the domain, which is this one. So this domain will be pointed to this new WordPress website which we created. And the first step will be to update DNS settings. The second step will be to adding our domain on interserver.net VPS. So we have a VPS for all of our clients where we host their website. It's from interserver.net, and that's our VPS. We'll be showing you guys how we will add our domain name on our VPS, and in third step we'll be pointing our WordPress stall to the new domain name, which is this one, sultanbarbecuegrill.ca. So it's a Canadian restaurant located in Scarborough. And finally, we'll be launching the website, testing if everything is okay and URL updated. And in final step, we will add Google Search Console. So our website is submitted to Google. So if you want to learn, keep watching the video. So guys, this website is hosted with iPage and domain is also registered with iPage. So I have that iPage dashboard already logged in. So this is how the domain control panel looks like. Now, in order to point this domain name to our VPS, virtual private server, we'll have to update the name servers. And so here we have the DNS and name server settings. I'm going to click on that. And from iPage name servers, we'll switch it to our VPS name servers, which are... Okay, now we have updated the settings in the domain name to let the domain know that you need to point to this server. And now we'll go to our server settings. So that's the dashboard of InterServer. If you buy virtual private server from InterServer, you'll have settings like this. And from there, you will go to more and then DNS manager. So these are all of the websites which we are hosting on our VPS, and I'm going to add this domain, and that's our server IP address. Paste it here, and now click on add DNS entry. After adding this domain name, our VPS know that there's a domain which will be pointed to this virtual private server, and that's the IP of our VPS. Cool. After adding the domain name, we'll go to DNS checker and check if our domain name is pointing to the right A record or the name servers are updated or not. So select NS to check if the name servers are updated and hit on search. As you can see, it's still showing the old name server. So I'll pause this video for like an hour or two to make sure that our name servers are updated, and then we'll resume the video again. So guys, after pausing video for about an hour, we finally have our name servers updated. Few of the locations still showing old name server, but we can proceed with our process. Okay, good. So that's how the WHM looks like, and from there we'll go to accounts, and that's the account which we'll be using for this domain name. So I'll go to the cPanel. So we have completed the first step. Now we are in the process of completing the second step, which is adding domain on our VPS. We added the domain name on the dashboard. Now we'll add it on cPanel. Now let's search for domain, and here we have add-on domains. And from there, we will add this domain name, which is this one. And make it okay. Now click on add domain. Okay, our domain name has been added on the cPanel. Now if we go to this domain name and open it up on new window to see what it shows. So we have this HTTPS error because we didn't install SSL through cPanel. So we'll just proceed with it and see what it looks like. So finally, we have our domain name pointed to a VPS, and it's the folder is being created on cPanel. Now we'll go to SSL and generate an SSL for it, which is normally automatically generated, but in some case, if it's not generated, we can simply do it via cPanel by going to manage SSL. Okay, now we will search for our domain name. So here's our domain name, and we will click on autofill by domain. Now click on install certificate. And we are good to go. SSL has been installed successfully. And normally it takes some time. It should not take more than 1 to 2 hours, but just in case, let's hit refresh and see if our SSL has been showing now or not. So hit refresh. Okay, it's still showing not secure. It will take some time, not an issue. We will be able to see a secure part on the end of this video. So now we need to copy this WordPress to this domain name here, which is our third step here. And in order to do that, we will install our WordPress. Issue here. Okay, so from cPanel, I'll go to WordPress Auto App Installer and install a new WordPress on this domain name here. So click on install and then search for this domain name. Install. Okay, installing the WordPress on our new domain name. Okay, our WordPress has been installed. Now take a look how it looks. And here's how it looks. Now what we will do is we will copy the WP content folder from this WordPress and download, export and import the database to make it look same as this one. And in order to do that, I'll go to my cPanel file manager again. So the staging server, so the staging WordPress install, which we created to show, to display to our client, is also on the same server, is also on the same cPanel. And in case you don't have that on same cPanel, you can simply download the WP content folder and upload it to your domain name. So I'm just gonna go to support and then which is one Sultan. So that's the WP content which we need, and I'm just gonna compress it first so we can easily move it. Compressing the folder. There we go. Our zip folder is ready. Here's the zip folder of WP content. Now we'll move it to our this domain name, the new WordPress, which is already there. Okay, now we'll move it. Let me first check the path of that domain name. So public_HTML, and then that's our path, and I'll move it to that path. Okay. Make sure do not do any spelling mistakes. Barbecue bbq and grill.ca. Okay, move files. Okay, our zip folder has been moved. Now if we go there, we can see our latest WP content zip file. And now I'm gonna just rename the current WP content folder and extract the new one which we just moved here. Okay, we are done with the extraction. So here's the latest WP content. Now all we need is our database. Now let's check on the database name which is attached to this new WordPress install. So I'm going to check the WP config file to see what's the database name. So our database name is WP515 for the new WordPress install, where we need to import. And now we'll check the database for this staging install, from where we need to export our database and import to our new WordPress install. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the WP config file for that folder. Okay, so that's the WP config file. And here's our database name from where we need to export. Staging WordPress install. And we need to export it from here. Okay, now let's go to PHPMyAdmin through our cPanel. Go back to main cPanel and go to PHPMyAdmin. Okay, now we need to export from WP880. WP880. So here's our database, and we'll export it from here. Click on export and then go. Okay, our database has been downloaded. Now we'll import it to WP515. Now let's navigate to WP515. And first I'm going to drop all the current tables. Click yes. And then import the database. Guys, one request, feel free to let me know in the comments if you have any confusion on any of the process. Also, don't forget to subscribe my channel to see more videos like this. Okay, now click on the database which we just downloaded and click on go from import here. So guys, our database has been successfully imported. Now the next step is to match the table prefix of our database from WP config file. So as you can see on our database, our table prefix is WP5R_, which should match from our WP config file. So we'll go to our WP config file and match our table prefix. So I'm gonna go back to our domain name which we added, sultanbbqgrill.ca. I'm gonna go to WP config and match the table prefix to make sure it's same. If it's not, we'll make the same table prefix. So that's our table prefix. As you can see, it's WHO_, and what we need is WP5R_. So I'm gonna change the table prefix and click on Save Changes. And then go to our WordPress install and hit refresh. And here we go. As you can see, our latest WordPress website which we created on the staging URL has been populated on our main domain, finally, successfully. And now the next step is to match the URL with the database, because if we go to the backend of this, it will take us to the old domain name, which we don't want. As you can see, the URL got changed when we navigated to the backend, to the dashboard. Now, in order to fix it, we will go to PHPMyAdmin and navigate to our options table. So click on options table. And as you can see, we have the old URL still showing up, which we can easily update. So double click and paste. Similarly, do the same here. Make sure site URL and home should be in the same format, meaning if you have a slash ending on the URL, the home should also have the slash ending on the URL. Make sure it's exactly the same. There's no typo on the URL to make sure your WordPress install is working perfectly. Now hit refresh again and go back to our WordPress dashboard. Okay. Now I'll go to, okay, so there's an issue with the header. It's cutting off, which we'll fix later. Now first, let's go to the backend. Okay guys, so I'm logged in to the WordPress dashboard, and now we will match the URL. So this website is built with Elementor. If you don't know what Elementor is, subscribe to my channel. There are multiple videos which I have created. Also, I'll put the link in the description for the basics of the Elementor, the video which I created, so you can easily learn. It's basically a great drag and drop builder plugin through which we can create stunning layout without any code knowledge. So we built using Elementor, and now I'll hover over Elementor and click on Tools to update the URLs. And why I'm updating the URLs? Because if you go to this website, which we recently launched for our client, all of the images which we are currently seeing is still pointed towards the old URL, this one. How we can check it? So click on View Page Source. You can alternatively click on Control U if you're on a Windows. And if you check out the URLs, you'll still find the staging URLs on that. So let's search for it. Take a look at that. So we shouldn't have this kind of URL on our stall. To make sure that once we delete our staging WordPress install, our recently launched website is not messed up, or it's not broke. So let's update the URLs by clicking on Elementor Tools, then click on Replace URL. And now from old URL, I'll put the old URL. I'll just copy and paste the old URL here, which was the staging URL which we used to create a staging WordPress website to show our client. And now I'll copy the new URL and now hit Replace URL button. As you can see, 686 table rows have been updated. And now we'll go and refresh. Okay, now go to View Source again. And from there, search for the old URL to make sure we don't have it anywhere. And we're still seeing some of the URLs. So we currently still have 6 old URLs, which is in the Revolution slider, the slider which we use here. And to update that, we'll have to manually update slider URL, Revolution slider images one by one to make sure we are using the images from our latest WordPress install and not the old WordPress install. So that's the back end of our Revolution slider. And where do we have background gallery? And we'll have to select the slider image from here manually in order to make sure. Our first image of the slider is which one we have. Okay, that's our first image. Yes. Okay, select this one, insert, click save, and now let's check out the second slide. Okay, that's the image, so I'll copy the second slide. I don't have any image update as needed. The library. By the way, we have that SL lock showing up, meaning that SL is running fine now. Our certificate is valid. Okay, now let's update the second image. Here's the second image, insert, and click save. Now do the same with the third slide. So that's the image for the third slide, which I'm going to update. Okay, now click on the library and find that third image from our slider. So that's the image, insert, and click save. Now let's go back to our front end to see the URL template or not. Okay, now go to view source and search for this URL. Okay, we still have 3 images showing up. And what are those images? Okay, so that's the Revolution slider images, which it will update automatically. We don't need to worry about it. Also, check out the inner pages to make sure we don't have that URL showing up on source of the inner pages. So that's the inner page, and go to source again and search for the URL of the staging. Cool, we don't have any URL here. I'm going to pause the video and check all the remaining pages of the website. Perfect, I have checked all the sub pages and we do not have any staging URL showing up anymore. And now let's check out why that orange top bar is cutting off. So guys, our header cutting off, the top bar cutting off issue has been resolved. There was some CSS issue on the back end of the Elementor, which I had to pause the video. It took like 5-10 minutes to fix the issue, and I didn't want you guys to take any more longer video time. So I just paused the video and resend it back. Now on our video, on our agenda today, we updated our domain DNS settings. We added our domain on our VPS. We pointed the WordPress to our new domain. We updated the URL, we launched and tested every single URL to make sure everything is working fine. Now final step is to add Google Search Console. In order to do that, I'll go back to WordPress dashboard and install Yoast SEO and go to Search Console to add this website. So this is our Search Console. I already had this website on our Search Console, but we recently changed our WordPress install. We'll have to re-verify this domain name, and in order to do that, we'll re-verify ourselves. And here we go. We have this method done. Now what we can do it via HTML file. I'm going to download this HTML file and upload it to our file manager here. So that's another method of adding Search Console. The reason why I'm re-verifying it, because when Google will detect that HTML tag is no longer existed, it will not show us any Search Console reports. So I just uploaded the file and now I'll hit verify. And here we go. Verification is successful through HTML file, and we can now see our website. Perfect. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you guys were able to learn something from this video. If yes, feel free to let me know in the comment below. Let me know what type of video you would like to view on this channel so I can create more and more valuable content for you guys. Have a great day.